What is up, Geeks and Geekettes? It's another episode of the Countdown City Geekcast. We are back once again, and we're glad you're here to join us.
Jericho's back.
Jericho's back.
Hey.
He's never really been
I got laughing.
My name is Steady. With me on this episode are my two fellow Geekcasters. First, we got Jericho.
Yo.
I have not said that in a while.
No.
Like,
feels good.
first we got Jericho. Just comes so easy when it happens.
Flip the table and like just.
And the man, the myth, the legend. You know him as JC.
Oh.
Hey, everybody.
We already did our top earlier.
This one's for you.
Salute. Salute.
Oh
We
man.
topped our
Oh,
pop.
cheers.
Cheers.
No, we're not.
Salute.
Nobody's popping top.
Well,
I don't know what you're saying.
whatever.
Popping tops.
We got a great show for you. A lot is happening in the geek universe today, and some of it is actually a little. It makes me a little nervous, so I don't really know exactly how to feel about some of these updates. But we have a lot of stuff. JC is going to start us off in a few minutes with a non-spoiler or just spoiler review of Aladdin. If you haven't seen Aladdin,
A whole lot of the plot
You
changed
must-
since 1990, whatever.
you must have been born yesterday or something. I'm going to talk a little bit about Dark Phoenix. Not any spoilers because I know Jericho really wants to see it.
I'm seeing it tomorrow. You better not.
There you go.
Yeah.
JC is going to talk about the Sony Days of Play sale. No idea what that is. I'm not a Sony guy. Stadia had a huge update today, so we're going to get into
Google.
that. We're all going to discuss Krypton because the craziest prequel to the Man of Steel story origin starts back next week. Season 2 is right around the corner.
Mhm.
And then we're going to finish off the show with hopefully what's not going to be very depressing news, but there's a lot happening in regards to the DC Universe app. Some of it
Yeah.
good, a lot of it bad and just weird. So we're going to talk about all that in a little bit. But first,
But first.
Prince Ali, something is he.
Mighty is he,
Hey,
Ali
yeah,
Ababa.
JC, you saw Aladdin, sir.
I did see Aladdin.
You saw Aladdin
And,
with the family.
With the with my wife and my daughter. My son was enjoying the beach with my parents.
How is that? The toddler is like on the beach enjoying the sun, and you guys are stuck.
Well,
in the
I mean,
movies.
my daughter would have gone too, but she's a flower girl in a wedding that weekend we had, so
That's
and Mark was
right.
matron of
Okay.
honor, so she did a great job too, by the way.
She did. She was actually standing in for Rob, though. He couldn't
Yes,
make
he
it.
was.
Had Rob,
Rob
been
didn't wanna-
available, he was going to be
Yeah.
the flower girl
Rob
that
couldn't
day.
get his hair did.
Talk to us about Aladdin. But first,
My background with Aladdin, should I start with that?
I was actually going to ask you because Adi,
Mm-hmm.
has she seen the original?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just kind of wondering what a new
Do you know who
generation.
her dad is?
Okay, here's
That's like a dumb
let me
question.
preface
like,
this
is
by
her
way.
dad.
Aladdin is my all-time favorite Disney movie.
Same.
All time. So my wife, we've had this argument before.
Uh-oh.
Hers is The Lion King. So she's looking
Hey,
forward
it's
to The
my
Lion
second.
King later this year. Yeah.
You guys should have like more original Disney films as your favorites, I would think.
Why is that?
I don't know, just like my favorite's Robin Hood.
No, I love Robin Hood, but I mean, I love those originals. The
favorite.
Jungle Book.
My favorite.
Look for the
Jungle Book.
bare
Book.
necessities. Yeah. But Aladdin growing up, like when that movie came out, and maybe part of it is too because in sixth grade choir, we sang the medley of all those songs. That's how I know all the
Wow,
songs
okay.
too.
Were you Jafar?
No, I was actually
Iago.
Aladdin for one jump ahead. I had a solo.
Nice.
One jump
Surprised
ahead
you
of the
weren't
red
Genie.
line. Huh?
Surprised with all the impressions you do. I'm surprised you weren't genius.
Nah, I mean, it was my voice wasn't as developed. It's hard
Oh,
to
okay.
emulate. I could have emulate Robin Williams by then.
We're
but-
gonna do a video where he's gonna be like painted all blue, and you could be Apu.
Hey, Babu.
Babu.
Is that his name?
Apu is from The Simpsons.
Apu's
it.
The Simpsons. Thank you. Come again.
That's how long it's been since
Um,
I've seen Aladdin.
So Aladdin for me has also been my all-time favorite. Just for as far as movies go, the action in it, the old animated getting out of the cave of wonders, the story was just amazing to me. I've always enjoyed it.
And Robin Williams.
And Robin Williams,
At his
perfect genie.
best.
And then I went to Disney World for the first time ever shortly after that
Mm.
came out, and the woman that was portraying Jasmine was just freaking beautiful. Yeah, here I am, 11 years old, enjoying that. So anyway,
That was
But-
the day he turned into a man.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Anyway,
That's what this is all.
reminiscing.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
man.
wanted to see this movie. Everyone, let's be honest, everyone shit on it because of the trailer. Oh, the genie looks like crap.
Come
The Lion King looks so good.
You ain't gotta. I don't sound like that. You don't
You
have to
didn't
make
sound
the
like
voice.
it, but I mean, you guys, you were doing a live show at the Alamo City Movie Talk, and then I mentioned, "Can't looking forward to Aladdin." Y'all were like, "The only one." Yeah, you think I forgot?
Oh man.
Anyway,
Still
so
salty.
I'm drinking. It's all coming out, liquid courage.
Uh-huh.
But my wife was like, "Oh, I don't really want to see it, but fine, I'll go see it." And my daughter was excited to see it. She's just excited to go to the movies, like any kid would be. And some stuff with the movie, the live action, some things changed a little bit. The story, I mean, some ways they presented different things. I think the biggest knock everyone has said is Jafar. He looked a little young in the film and this like that. And maybe there were some better choices, but I don't think he was that bad. I think he portrayed it great, sinister. And some of the things they delve into a little bit of his backstory, into why he's
Okay.
like that and why
Wow.
he's able to, in a way, relate to Aladdin as well. As far as songs go, there was one new song called Speechless that's sung by Princess Jasmine.
Nice.
She sings like half of it early in the movie, the other half later. Although the second half later is completely at random. This is like the
Like they
whole.
just remember they need to add it.
Yeah, it was
Finish
like the most random scene, and this is like Ralph Breaks the Internet. It's like they just break into a song at random, making fun of how Disney princesses do that, and there she was. But the title of the song Speechless is actually a callback to the animated movie when the Sultan says, "You're gonna wed Jafar," and she's like gasping, and he's like, "You're speechless. I see a fine quality in a
nice.
wife." So they used that to make a song.
Uh,
Some words were updated. Again, they did it in the original movie, Arabian Nights.
Yeah.
When it was released in theaters, the original line was where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face. They changed that in the home release where it's dark and immense and the heat is intense. And then they changed it again for this film. I don't know the lyric. I can probably pull it up. But they changed the lyric again for this film. That, for whatever reason, that's been so controversial.
can't remember that. It's very disappointing, sir.
Oh, God.
This guy.
movie just came
This
out.
Thought it was
guy.
number
Hang
one
on. I'll
fan.
pull the
Come on.
soundtrack up. You
This
asked
guy.
for it. Anyway.
Oh no.
No.
Look it up.
Disney's gonna take this video down.
I know. I'm
saying.
just kidding. I'm kidding.
They don't mess around.
And then with Prince Ali, the genie sings, "So try your best to stay calm. Brush up your Sunday salam." That was the original lyric, but that really didn't make sense to Middle Eastern culture where Friday is like the holy day. So they changed to "brush up your Friday salam." Little things like that I noticed. As far as the genie, everyone was
was
so
the only one
critical
too.
about him. He didn't try to be Robin Williams.
Okay.
Thank
good.
God. Because you're never going to emulate who
Yeah.
Robin Williams was. But you got Fresh Prince Genie, and it was
That's what I've
great.
been hearing. Yeah.
It was
the music
really
was
good. Yeah.
all right.
You know, a little bit of his rapping style in it. He still had the humor, things that they threw in there, a little bit of the animation. He had some great scenes, some great lines, a little bit of sarcastic attitude. And yeah, you got the Fresh Prince Will
Yeah,
Smith with
okay.
that. So the outfits were updated. I mean, it's just a beautiful film, very colorful. The cast was just great. Naomi Scott is just like perfect as Jasmine. Voice is beautiful. She looked amazing in the outfits that they had. And she's what really stood out to most to me with that movie. So I loved it. Probably if I'm going by the Alamo City Movie Talk rating system, I'm giving it a 9. I'm definitely going to own it. My daughter, who's 5 years old, was dancing in the theater in front of her seat when the songs came
Wow.
on. So she loved it. So she wants to go see it again. She really enjoyed it. So,
Very
Awesome.
cool.
and my wife, of course, who really didn't want to see it, really enjoyed it as well.
Wow.
That's
okay.
good.
And
Alright.
this is good because she hated Beauty and the Beast. I didn't
the
think it
live
was
action
the
one?
live action one.
Okay.
I didn't think it was that good either. She was worried about the Lion King, and seeing Aladdin kind of got her hopes up about seeing the Lion King
Okay.
live action as well.
Gotcha.
So,
It's good to know.
very well
Good to
done.
know.
Oh, and Alan Tudyk as Iago. Great
Oh,
cast.
Wow, I didn't know that.
More
he-
sinister, more dark,
Okay.
not as humorous. The final, my one knock, they really shortened the Cave of Wonders escape scene,
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, they did.
and they
And the
kind of
cave
changed.
didn't talk either.
The cave talked. It was the original cave voice.
He didn't move his mouth,
He didn't move his mouth.
which would
And
have been cool to see in live
And
action.
Jafar explains what he has to do in the cave versus the cave explaining it. That's one thing I didn't enjoy.
Okay.
But they shortened that escape scene. But you got a huge, final climactic chase at the end, which kind of more than made up for it.
Oh, good.
So definitely worth it. Go see it even if
Cool.
you're skeptical.
Okay.
It was pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you said that you enjoyed that because I'm a huge Dumbo fan. So Robin Hood, Dumbo, those are my favorites Disney
Yeah.
movies all time. And Dumbo missed the essence of the first one.
And I'm surprised because Tim Burton did it. I thought he would have captured it beautifully.
I don't know if that was a reason, but somewhere somebody thought, you know what, we're not gonna go and do the story verbatim. Maybe because the original story is like really short. It's probably like 45 or 48 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But the animals didn't talk, and
Okay.
I don't know if they're trying to go for a little bit more realism. But now you're making The Lion King, which is full of talking animals.
Right.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
So I think they could have captured some of that mysticism, which it's a flying elephant, so there's a lot of that in there. But when Dumbo's not flying, it's really grounded, and you're kind of losing all of that.
Not that Dumbo talked in the original film, but like the
He
birds, the
didn't.
crows didn't
Yeah.
talk.
Well,
or
all the
anything?
other elephants did too.
Oh, the
The elephants, there's no talking mice in this one because Dumbo had that friend, I forget his name.
Yeah, I know
in
you're
the
talking
hat.
about.
So
The
all
crows?
the crows,
They
they
didn't talk?
talked in the cartoon, not this one.
Basically,
When
no
I
animals spoke
see
in
an elephant fly.
Yeah, so it's it loses a lot of that essence. And
That sucks.
some of the most emotional scenes of the original were not played as much as it could have been
I see.
in this one. So it's stuff like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm glad that Disney recovered it. They probably figured out like, no, we need to play it a little closer to the original sources.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah,
But, I
and
mean-
Lion King's gonna be verbatim like of the old cartoon.
You kind of have to. I don't know what else they can add to it.
I just want to go see Timon and Pumbaa. That's it,
Yeah,
For
I'm interested to see
sure.
that.
right?
Yeah, especially the voice actors for
Mhm.
Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah, Seth Rogen and who's playing Timon?
I forget his name. It's
Oh,
like
dang
Billy
it.
something. He was in Parks and Rec. That's the main
Oh, okay.
show that I remember him in.
Gotcha.
I'm waiting for Rafiki's karate scene again. I'm looking
I
forward
hope
to
we
that.
get that.
Yeah. I know.
Dude, even OG Mufasa and I can't remember.
Well,
the
James Earl
wife's
Jones
Earl
is gonna be.
Jones.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
coming back. He's the only one coming back, right?
name. And the mom too. I forgot who played the mom.
Oh,
I don't remember her name.
Sarabi. I don't remember.
Sarabi. There you go.
I forget who the actress
But
was.
she's coming back too. So that's pretty cool.
Very nice.
That's exciting.
And that was the Aladdin non-spoiler review.
Non-spoiler.
Take it for what you want.
Another thing on the songs, I'll say, they changed a lot of the songs. The one they kept intact, "A Whole New World," you cannot mess with that. That was picture perfect. No changes, nothing.
People would riot in the theater if they had.
Guilty. I would have done too.
There you go.
How did you and Tina would, like sing that song when y'all got back home? And
I tried singing on the way home. She's like, "Shut up."
They were
Disney for me today.
probably standing up in the theater, like looking at each other, and everyone else was like, "Sit down."
I know. I was like, unbelievable.
And he just falls down.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, sir.
No problem.
Awesome.
I saw Dark Phoenix this week. There
Lucky.
was very lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to Ryan over at Alamo City Movie Talk. We were invited to a press-only screening. These were done in either a handful of cities or a dozen cities, probably across the country. They were really not allowing a whole lot of eyes to see this film because there's no audience screenings around our area that we were aware of. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So it's strictly
strange.
press.
Strictly press. I'm
Wow.
talking like empty theater, except for like a dozen people.
Oh wow.
I mean, you don't want to talk too loud because everybody can hear what you're saying, that kind of thing.
Like,
So,
shut up, Ted.
Ted's over
Um,
there. That part sucked.
Fox or
I would have done this differently.
Yeah.
oh man. So I don't know who's
Damn, she's fine.
I don't know who's in charge of this distribution. If it's Fox's decision to keep the initial reactions at this low level, or if it's now just all Disney. It might just be all Disney, but who has any idea at this point?
Isn't it Disney?
I mean, I'm sure, but
They
is
have the
it-
same Fox guys just running the distribution, you think?
no idea. Possibly.
Interesting.
So I'm going to talk about the movie just a little bit, not a whole lot. For one thing, I would say that I was surprised on how solid of a film it was. We've had a few trash X-Men films in recent memory, especially if you go back to the original Phoenix movie, X3, The Last
X-Men
Stand.
United. Or Last Stand, excuse me.
Yeah, Last Stand. That one, I just remember thinking like, this is terrible. Like, this is just horrific. You were a big X-Men
When
fan.
is the movie gonna start? Like that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, where's
When's the
Bryan
real movie?
Singer?
I was
Oh,
more
yeah, Superman Returns.
I was more probably thinking like,
Don't
when
bring
is this
that
going
up.
to end?
Don't bring that up.
we can spend a whole episode
Yeah.
talking about like the things we did not like in X3, The Last
Right.
Stand. Juggernaut. Juggernaut was just a freaking
I'm
joke.
Juggernaut,
Bitch.
bitch. That was the best line.
But it's a joke.
I know.
And people love Juggernaut.
Yeah.
So to mess with him that much
Ryan
is
Reynolds
just
was
horrible.
a way better Juggernaut. Let's be honest here.
He totally was.
He was.
That was
awesome.
100% Juggernaut.
Yep.
But this movie, I would say, was a solid film. It wasn't great by any means.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna get wowed by any scenes. This movie is really pieces of every other superhero movie you've seen. You're not gonna see anything new.
Okay.
I will knock it for not being sort of creative, imaginative enough. The story wasn't as big as you want it to be, especially. And I talked about this on the our Alamo City Movie Talk review with Ryan and the guys. That this is the sort of end game of the X-Men franchise, but it didn't feel like that. And I don't know if you can actually blame Fox for that because this movie was well into production before the Disney acquisition happened, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably not on them because they didn't know this would be the last X-Men film, but you're not getting satisfied to the point that this is a good close to the entire X-Men chapter or franchise. So I wish it was. I really do. Had they had the time and they had the foresight of the acquisition, maybe they would have planned for something bigger. But this was a really safe movie. The acting is great. I would
Okay.
not knock anybody in this film. It's a lot of James McAvoy, which he's been absolutely brilliant as Professor X
Heck yeah.
Yes,
since
sir.
he's been on in the first one, First Class. I think was the first time we saw him.
First class. Mm-hmm. That's where the McAvoy timeline began, I guess you could say.
Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. She's asked to do a lot more. She's asked to do more in this film than she has in any other X-Men film she's been in. And she stepped up to the plate and she delivered. So Sophie Turner is brilliant in this film. The supporting cast is really good. Of course, Michael Fassbender is just as good as McAvoy being Magneto. The action scenes are pretty good. But like I said, it's nothing we've not seen before. So you're not going to get surprised or wowed by anything. Not going to any spoilers, but a lot of the plot you kind of wish, like I said, was played up a little bit more. The thing I do like about this movie is it's really fast-paced. As soon as the movie starts, the movie gets going.
Okay.
The plot's already established. We know where we're headed. And it really doesn't slow down after that except for exposition and a few lines of dialogue that is beneficial for the audience.
Okay.
And I loved the visuals. I'd say this probably has the best VFX that we've seen in any X-Men film since First Class.
Okay.
Anything that you see in this film is done way better. It's probably the director, Simon Kinberg, that made sure it was quality, good quality on screen, because a lot of, like Apocalypse, I hated a lot of the effects, the
Yeah.
special effects in that movie. So if you want to see an X-Men film that you sort of have either maybe low expectations for, or you just want to see a Phoenix movie done better than X3, definitely go see this. But if you're waiting for this big dramatic ending to the Fox X-Men franchise, you're not going to get it. And so if you want that, you're probably going to go out disappointed. But like I said, there's a lot of really good things in this movie. The acting is great. Special effects are great. It's a movie that it goes at a really fast pace, and I'm kind of okay with that. There's a lot of fun moments when you see specific individuals using their powers to their full potential. That's when things are really
Wow,
fun.
okay.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say who, but it's towards the end, you're going to know exactly who I'm talking about.
It's Wolverine.
No spoilers,
He
no
comes out one
spoilers.
last time. So, do you remember the animated X-Men
Cartoon?
Phoenix Saga? Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
I
I
do.
do.
Okay, so would you compare it?
It's not on that level, and
Okay.
No.
I wish we would get that eventually. Maybe when Marvel, decides to do an actual Phoenix Saga,
Okay.
then it's going to be on that level because that involves everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
That involves the entire X-Men encyclopedia
Yeah.
of characters.
Marvel even. In some
Yeah.
ways, yeah.
So hopefully it's going to get on that scale, but
Okay.
X3 was the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
quest-
this is
quest-
somewhere in the middle.
Questions for you. How is the 90s nostalgia? This takes place in the 90s, right?
You're not going to see a lot of that.
Okay.
The trailer didn't really give off a lot of it either.
No, it's a dark. I figured Dark Phoenix is a very dark movie.
You know, I'll say one thing that I really appreciated. It's at the very beginning of the movie, so you're not going to get spoiled on any major plots. But I guess from Apocalypse, the X-Men have sort of been appreciated in the community
Okay.
Oh, okay.
to the point that they are celebrated.
Wow.
And so one of the first things that I notice is that I'm having a really good time watching people cheer on the X-Men because the X-Men are a group of mutants that never get
Yeah,
that
they've
sort
always-
of
yeah, they've always been
appreciation.
hated.
They've always been hated, and that's the point.
That is interesting.
That is the point, but it is a much different feeling to see that happen. And one of the other things that I initially thought, the first 15 minutes were like solid. Great opening. I'm not going to say what it is, but the opening act or the opening sequence is a real punch in the gut.
Was it a concert by Dazzler?
No, not at all.
Okay, okay.
How would you rank this one compared to the rest of the McAvoy timeline?
I actually don't know why people put First Class on a high pedestal. I never did. So it goes Apocalypse is on the bottom. I would probably say First Class next. Days of Future Past. No. I'd say this one and then Days of Future Past.
Okay.
Okay.
So this would probably be second out of those four.
Okay.
And again, that's only because people love First Class, and I don't know what
loved it.
the hype was about.
I wouldn't put it as first though, but yeah, I loved it.
I
thought
think
it
it's
was
Kevin
really
Bacon.
good. Yeah. So I mean,
I can't take him too seriously as a villain. You're
you
footloose.
didn't think he was a good Hollow Man?
Let's dance. You're just waiting for that, aren't you?
That's all I was
Yeah.
waiting for him.
Kick off your Sunday shoes.
But that's that's my non-spoiler review on Dark Phoenix. If we're going on our scale,
Thank you,
or
sir, but have another.
if we're going on either our scale or the best
God
out
damn
of
it, JC.
10.
What's up?
I said, God damn it, you're always the references,
Kevin
man.
Bacon. You guys throw that
Yeah.
shit in there.
Oh
man.
my
sure.
gosh.
Yeah. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Speaking of 6, I
Yeah.
actually gave this one a 6 out of 10. If we're going by the Geekcast scale, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a pretty average,
60%.
decent movie. So yeah, and
Not
that's my
passing.
that's my thoughts on Dark Phoenix. He's gonna see it, and then you're gonna see it hopefully very
Sometime.
soon because it's your favorite
I
franchise
know for sure.
in comic.
I'm glad you
or
said it
film.
wasn't that bad because I already bought the tickets.
Oh man, it was terrible, especially when they all
You
beat up
son of a-
Superman.
Oh, you dick.
They all they ripped his head off and they beat Lois with his arms and
Yeah, some kid at my wife's school tried to started to spoil Endgame. Oh my god! And then they killed Superman. My wife looked at him. That's the wrong universe, you idiot. Like my wife knows.
you
this.
called this kid an idiot.
Yeah,
believe
my
it.
wife did.
Don't mess with Soups.
Nope.
All right. Well, that was my Dark Phoenix non-spoiler review. We'll get the full one very soon, I'm sure.
right.
JC,
Yeah.
Sony's having a Days of Play sale.
Who doesn't like bargains, man? Thanks. Shout out to Cheap Ass Gamers Twitter. Yes, there's a Twitter like that, so you find some good deals.
Awesome.
Every year, Sony has a 10-day sale called their Days of Play sale, and they have a lot of deals this year. You can save $20 on a PlayStation Plus 12-month membership, $30 on a PlayStation Now membership, and they've got games marked down up to 70% off.
Woo.
Wow.
The highlights for me: God of War will be $20 for these 10 days.
First one? First one?
The one on PS4.
Okay.
The PS4 God of War, the most recent one.
Gotcha.
Spider-Man, the newest Spider-Man will be $20. Some other outliers, I think there was like an NBA 2K game that got marked down to like $3 or something. Let me find it here. Where are you?
It's like 2K2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say 2K11.
MLB The Show is
Oh.
$30. No, there it is. Yeah, $30. NBA 2K19, $3. This is a game that's normally $60.
Wow.
And
Wow.
they're timing it right at the end of the season. This
Yeah.
is the game that we've always seen those guys playing at the AT&T Center.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
game
Alright.
they're playing. So $3 if you want to
It's
jump
always
in
been
there.
a good series.
Nice.
Yeah, been a great series. So there's a huge list of games that they have on there. Soul Calibur 6, the most recent fighting game, $30. This is like a big sale they have every year. They mark so much down. I think some of the accessories are on sale as well. Now, hey, WWE 2K19, $20.
There you go.
So
and so this is, you said 10 days, so starting when? Tomorrow?
tomorrow, June 7th through June 17th.
Okay.
And all these deals will be available on the PlayStation Store on your PlayStation 4 console. Some retailers, I'm not sure exactly which ones will also honor that as well. So those prices are going to fly as well. So there's a huge list of games, a lot of markdowns, every genre just about represented. Well, Star Wars Battlefront, the Ultimate Bundle is like $12.39. I think it's the first Battlefront. So, wow, yeah, there's just a huge deal of stuff, and who doesn't like a bargain?
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Kingdom Hearts 3, $36.
We don't need to tell Rob anything about games because that's all he does when he's not on this show. Is he's playing
So he's playing games right now.
playing Spider-Man.
Okay, here's one for
the
Rob. Dragon
20th
Ball
time.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z, $18.
There you go.
Nice.
Yay, yeah. Huge
Probably
amount
already
of
has
deals.
it too.
Get out there if you need to boost up your PlayStation library a bit. Batman Arkham Knight, $6.
Hey.
Hey,
I've already beat on next.
So this is kind of a fun sale they have every year, and
How long does it last?
10 days, June 7th to June 17th.
Awesome, sir.
So get out there, and then check out the Cheap Ass Gamers Twitter. So
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to look that up.
look at that, man. They always have great deals. They look for everything. It's pretty awesome.
Very cool.
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and stick with gaming now. We had a huge Stadia update. In case you haven't heard, or you're Jericho, Google is coming out with
Jericho stays secluded in his hole.
Google is coming out with a gaming subscription service that's going to revolutionize gaming for the entire planet. What you're going to get is a controller, and you're not going to ever have to buy games. You're not going to have to ever download anything to a hard drive, your PC, or you're not going to have to own a console. You get a controller at your house, and as long as you can access a Google Chrome web browser, you're going to be able to stream video games in gorgeous clarity at fast speeds, and you're going to be able to play instantly. So as long as you have the controller and you have access to the specific web browser that's necessary in order to play these games, you're going to be able to scroll and play games almost like a streaming service for movies or TV.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's absolutely fantastic. This is something that no one thought would be possible,
Something that GameFly should have evolved into, basically.
probably,
Yeah.
but they didn't have the vision or the foresight
No.
to do that.
Netflix, like, we got to change GameFly's like, no, we'll just send them in the mail.
So if you want to see So if you want to see the entire presentation that they dropped today, you can go to our Facebook page at Countdown City Geekcast. You might already be watching that. Head on over to our timeline. It's just like scroll down a little bit after you finish this video,
I get the
of
point
course.
this time. I get the point, yeah.
And after you finish this video, go and check out their full presentation. But if you want the cliff notes, here is what those are.
Mhm.
So the basic subscription service is $10 a month. The speeds or the internet speeds it requires at a minimum is 10 megabits per second. That's going to get you 720 resolution. If you want the full 4K resolution, that's going to require a 35 megabits per second speed. And also, you're going to need one of their devices. I'll get that to in a second. During this presentation, we got trailers for Guilt, a new game called Get Packed, very interesting. Something that you liked, Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, man. I haven't seen one of those games in a long time. I played the crap out of Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance, and Dark Alliance 2. So
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
the PlayStation 2, they're like action RPGs, old-time RPGs, like, Ranger, like different classes and
Mhm.
stuff. And oh my god, I played my character was like level something. Hey, can I play? What level are you? Like 50, whatever? No, you're too far advanced. Because it was cool. Like, I think that evolved into the same development team that did that, Snowblind. They also did Champions of Norath, and that was like a 4-player thing. And it's the Baldur's Gate series is legendary, and it's been disappeared for so long. I'm kind of glad it's coming back. Very interested to see
Nice.
that.
Very cool.
Mhm.
We also got what piqued my interest is a trailer for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I
Another
think
one.
I played the original Ghost Recon game,
I saw it. It was a shooter, and I suck at shooters.
so I can't wait to get into that. And then a few more items that we need to call out. They announced today on their presentation the Founders Edition bundle. This is going to be only available for a limited amount of time, and you're going to want to jump on this as soon as you possibly can. What you're going to get is for $130, you're going to get 3 months of access to their service. You're going to get first access. You're going to get access this year towards the end of 2019. Everyone else who doesn't get this is going to have to wait until next year in 2020. You're going to get their Chromecast Ultra, which is a tiny device which allows games to be played in 4K resolution.
Wow.
You're gonna get a limited edition Stadia controller. It's called Night Blue. It just looks like black, but you're gonna get the controller with it.
All right.
And if you want a second controller, they have a few options on colors. You can get that for a low price of $69. So you get 3 months of subscription with this amount. And I forgot to mention, that's not just 3 months for you, but you also get to pick a family member or a friend who will also get that subscription. So 6 months, well, I mean, total, but 3 for you and 3 for a person of your choosing. So that's great. And now you can get 2 controllers, for a low price. And you get to stream video games. I don't know if that's coming across well, but stream video games.
It's a hell of a gamble, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
But they claim it's flawless. They've already done tests throughout. They said Google's servers can handle this kind of bandwidth.
I hope so.
So if it ends up working out, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread,
Mm-hmm.
since the Game Boy. I mean, this
boy.
is since the N64.
Since Tetris, happy birthday, 35
Hey!
years. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Tetris. 35 years old. That's
Yeah.
older than me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was 3 when it came out.
But that's the Stadia Founders Edition. And you get, again, first access, 2 subscriptions for 3 months, the Chromecast Ultra device, which allows for 4K resolution, the limited edition Stadia controller, and a second controller for only $69. And that includes, again, the Stadia Pro, which is what they call the subscription service. And if you don't want the Founders, you can just wait, get the basic subscription for $10 a month. And if you don't even want to do that, you can purchase games individually for whatever they're priced at, and that's just their base account, I guess you want to call it. You just buy games as you go. But why wouldn't you want to play unlimited amount of games for $10 a month?
Yeah, I mean,
Curious-
that's
curious.
enough right there. Yeah.
How are they going to handle like DLC with that? Do they really say? Well, I mean, if
No.
you're streaming the game, how you pretty much play whatever.
Pretty much,
Probably
right?
no DLC. It's
Huh?
just a straight game.
I would hope so. Well, fighting games. I'm interested to see how fighting games come across on that. And I
Yeah,
hope, I
but
hope the controller's good.
they've announced the games that we've already talked about, and they're talking to every major developer across the world. So be ready for Mortal Kombat,
Tekken, whatever.
Tekken.
Tekken 8.
I mean, and anything you can think of. And they actually had what they're calling a Destiny 2 full experience.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're into Destiny 2, you're going to want to look into this and see exactly what features it has.
That one was with the Pro, though, right?
That one's with the Founders Edition, yeah.
Right, there you go. Okay.
So like I said, Founders Edition, it's only available for a limited amount of time. You can get it starting today, and make sure you read up more on it just to ensure you understand exactly what you're getting out of that. And once again, $130 for that.
Did they give us a launch date for Stadia yet or no?
No, but it will be in 2020.
Okay.
Unless you get the Founders Edition,
You get it early.
which you
and-
get early access.
I don't recall if you said it, but you just said that the monthly price, is there going to be like a whole pay annually kind of thing and get it
Don't
cheaper?
know yet.
That's going to sell a lot of people.
I don't see why they wouldn't,
Mm-hmm.
but
Maybe eventually it'll come out that way.
there you go. Possibly, definitely. All right, and that was Stadia. Be sure to check back for more information on that.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to throw in something real quick. We actually got an update for the Uncharted movie featuring one Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
What?
I don't know if you guys heard about that,
No.
but Tom Holland is going to be playing Nathan Drake,
Wow.
and the release date for the Uncharted movie will be December 18th, 2020. Let's go to some of our follower comments. Rachel Lloyd says, I am completely conflicted with this. As a young Nathan, maybe, but then they need a Sam. As a mid-30s Nathan, no way. But he's a pretty decent actor, so I'll give him a shot. And one of our top fans, Richard Redding, shout out to Richard. Nathan Drake is a mid-30s Indiana Jones type. This is a strange casting. No, I completely agree.
It is.
We're going to have to see exactly what they're going for. They chose a young-looking Tom Holland for a good reason, which Tom is really, what, in his late 20s?
I think so, yeah.
He just looks like
He
he's
just
in
looks
high
young,
school,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I'm
maybe
going to
they
go out on
plan
a limb
on
and say
doing-
Eliud hates this casting.
I don't even want to tell him. If I tell him, he's going to stab me.
Yeah.
He's like,
What?
Andrew Garfield should play Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's taking all my favorite characters. Shout out to Eliud,
Yeah.
who's been on the show
Looking
last couple
forward
of
to
times.
that Rob versus Eliud Spider-Man. Tom
Are you
Holland
going to be
debate.
there?
I'll be. When is it? Is it already set up?
It's gonna be
We've
before.
been trying to do this for a couple
I
years.
want to
now.
referee this thing.
It's gonna be before Far From Home.
Which
has to be
is
like the
July.
July
July.
2nd.
Okay.
yeah.
So we're gonna do for you people
July
watching.
2nd, same day as Young Justice. Yeah.
We've had two friends of ours, Rob Geekcaster and Eliud,
Spidey fan.
featured guest,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there you
who are both diehard Spidey fans. They love Spider-Man more than they love anything else.
There's a reason they sit on opposite sides of the table and play
go.
live.
Yes.
But they cannot agree on one thing. Is Tom Holland a good Spider-Man? So what we're going to do is
Such a simple question.
we're going to put these two
Don't
Spider-Man
you love
lovers,
geek culture?
these two mother Spidey lovers head to head in a
That was good.
I like
in a
that.
debate.
You mother
We're gonna
Spidey.
have to Spencer. Censor you.
Yeah, sponsorship, that too. Spencer's Gifts.
There you go.
Feel free to sponsor us, guys.
We're going to put these two guys in a head-to-head debate, and they're going to debate on Tom Holland's value in the Marvel Spider-Man franchise, whether or not Homecoming was a positive or negative film, however you want to look at it. And it's going to be wild because these guys get overly emotional about just normal daily things. When they're
Yeah.
talking about Spider-Man,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on a whole nother level. So stay tuned.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah,
we're all
right.
going to be there with our popcorn, just like
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. I'm gonna have beer and popcorn.
Have another drink.
I'm gonna wear specifically a Tom Holland Spider-Man shirt,
we should actually.
just to instigate.
Go Rob.
I have some. I have some ideas in my head on like how awkward and how funny this is going to be.
You're gonna have
So
to set this up like a presidential debate, dude.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Pretty much.
with like a game show twist.
Yeah.
But just
There's-
imagine Rob.
You, Steve Harvey,
With,
this is
like-
Family Feud.
Welcome to Family Feud.
Welcome to Family Feud.
But imagine Rob blacking out like in Will Ferrell, like Will Ferrell did in. in
What
Old
just happened? I
School.
blacked out.
What just happened?
And we're all just like, "Oh my
School.
god, that was amazing."
Yeah. I have no response.
Debate
Oh
over.
my gosh. Anyways, that's
Oh,
going to
man.
be amazing when it happens. So stay tuned for that. That's just right around the corner.
That one we're gonna need a censor button.
Beep beep
Yeah,
beep. Or we like. See, I'm already having ideas.
can do
We
a
we
flip.
tie them to like not a car battery, but something that will like shock them.
Oh, Jesus.
And whenever they give an answer we don't like,
Or y'all are getting like hardcore match with this thing, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, we are.
Yeah. I'm on mine.
Put 'em in a
Not
ring.
me.
Electrify the ropes.
Okay.
Fence.
There you go. Well, we can't get a fence.
You
Anyways,
could no rope, barbed wire, or ring.
We'll
I've
figure
seen
this
that
out. We'll figure
before.
this
Those
out.
are bloody.
we'll figure this out.
Okay.
And that
Shout out ACW.
Uncharted movie. Thank you for your comments. Please send more about either Uncharted, about Stadia. Are you excited about that? Your thoughts on Dark Phoenix whenever you get to see it. Aladdin. Are you excited for the Sony Days of Play sale? Now we're jumping into DC Comics territory. And we're going to start on a happy note. Krypton. I
Season
hope
2.
you're watching it. But Krypton Season 2
Finally.
is next week, right around the corner.
Wednesday.
Yeah, time
actually.
to catch up.
Wednesday the 12th, right?
Wednesday the 12th.
Yes.
If you got DC Universe, all of season 1 is on there. If you need a refresher, you need to catch up. Do it. Do it. Do it.
So we were all excited because the season 1 of Krypton was so damn interesting.
What a cliffhanger too, man, at the end.
Great cliffhanger. I'm still flabbergasted by the story because we got a story that nobody saw coming.
Yeah.
I don't think. They really
No, I didn't see it. No.
this
The
show
twist.
reached its full potential
Yes, it
by
did.
doing something so interesting no one could have imagined it. I don't want to spoil it, but let's just
Well, season 1's been out
Let's
over a
do
year.
it.
it's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Spoil it.
We did a whole review though.
We did a
Yeah,
review.
We did a whole
yes.
review, so I don't want to jump all
Pause
into it
right
again.
now.
Yeah.
Go
But
listen to it.
it's a story about Superman being wiped from existence, basically.
Mhm.
History is being
His
rewritten.
existence being wiped away. Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
history is being rewritten by General Zod, and there are individuals in Superman's ancestry that are trying to save the universe from a variety of things. So go
Well-
check out season 1 if you haven't seen it.
You say save the universe. Are they saving the universe or are they saving their planet? That's the conflict in there.
But that's true. A
Yeah.
lot of conflict.
Because we
Mhm.
still don't know who the guy is exactly. I don't even remember his name, but
We got a
Visitor.
voice, right?
the visitor.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. We don't know. We
the guy
don't know.
from
The
the
one that was
future.
with Adam Strange? No.
No, we do not. But we did hear his voice. Am I making that up? We heard voices.
Yeah.
So,
We saw Adam talking.
We
to
saw
someone.
Adam talking to
Yeah.
them before he gets trapped in
We're
future Metropolis.
okay, we're confusing people now.
Yes,
so
we are.
go watch
Now- I
season
don't know
1
if
if
I
you
saw the
haven't
show
seen
then.
it.
I have to go rewatch it.
Well, let's talk about.
Let's
where it
talk
left
about
off.
the trailer.
Yeah,
Yes.
Let's
They-
talk about the trailer.
they are marketing the crap out of villains.
yes.
They're promoting Zod, Brainiac, Doomsday, and then Lobo, who more of a mercenary or is working for the money. Basically, he looks great, by the way.
Mhm.
Dog the bounty hunter on like steroids.
Pretty much.
Which dog was already on steroids? So that's
Oh, that's neither here nor there. Let's not start that.
Sorry,
Allegedly.
There
Allegedly.
you go. There you go.
That's been interesting to me. First of all, Doomsday looks amazing. We've complimented how great Brainiac looks, and then the way Zod's being portrayed. Lobo, interesting as well. Here's what I appreciate about this show. When they promoted season 1, they didn't show us a whole lot of the season. They showed us stuff early in the episodes. So when that twist midway through happened, you did not see it coming.
oh yeah.
So I feel like what they're showing us right now is the same thing very early on, and there's some twists in there. We have no idea, first off, how Seg's getting out of the Phantom Zone,
Right.
and
No.
if Brainiac's coming with him too. Adam, strange as we understand it, he's stuck in future Metropolis, trapped in basically one of Brainiac's bottles or something,
Yeah.
cities.
He's in a frozen city right now.
Frozen City, where
But he's not frozen.
he's not frozen, but everyone else is frozen. But
And-
instead of a statue of Superman, you get a statue of Zod right there. So
And as far as we know, it's not an easy thing for him to get out.
no,
Right.
he doesn't. He don't think he fully understands the use of his Zeta beam or how to use it. So,
Yeah.
So I'm just like I'm watching these. I'm watching the cliffhangers and all this stuff. Or watching the trailers, and I'm like, they're not revealing a lot of stuff. And I like that. It's interesting to me. They're marketing this very, very well, but they are pushing. This is going to be like a season of villains.
Yeah.
Doomsday is the interesting one to me.
The Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Jericho,
Yeah.
your thoughts on the trailer, or how about just, is there anything you really want to see in season 2, like your expectations or something that would just really, you would really appreciate them doing?
It honestly wouldn't even matter. It's kind of like Young Justice, where you think you know what's going on, and then there's a twist, several twists.
Yeah.
So with this show, it's like I can want anything.
It almost, I'm glad you said that, because I just forgot and remembered right now that there was almost like a twist at like the end of every episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it almost got old. Like, oh, another twist. But no, it didn't.
But it's still, yeah. I mean, like
They were
you
all
expect a
great
twist.
twists.
Yeah, exactly. You expect a twist, but it works. I honestly have no. I want to go in fresh. I don't want to have any expectations, because I think that'll be helpful with the twist.
Sure.
So I'm excited. I'm actually going to rewatch it, because as y'all are talking about it, I'm like, I don't remember any of this.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember.
All right, so
I remember like
I'm
the ending,
curious.
but yeah.
Here's what I'm curious about. I'm wondering, because they basically have said there's no real comic story to this origin.
Right.
We have no stories about his grandfather.
they got no ties, no rules to live by.
Nothing to live by. Do you think the Lanterns would somehow get involved in this?
They could.
They have to.
They easily could, yeah.
I would think. I would wonder if the Green Lantern Corps, like pre Hal Jordan and everything,
Yeah.
is somehow going to get involved with this story.
That would be awesome. This is kind of like, what is it, Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One, where it was between A New Hope and, or not New Hope, Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. So there was no story in between,
Mhm.
so they kind of had a free range, I guess, to kind of write it. So it's kind of like with this show too.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. Yeah, basically anybody can come out.
Mhm.
It would just be people that we know, that we're familiar with.
Which we are like 2 generations away from Superman to begin with, Kal-El. So
Yeah.
it's not like we're having to do too many things. We just have to make sure that Superman's grandfather doesn't
Survives.
die
Right.
or
Yeah.
has a child, Jor-El, sometime in the near future.
Which is also too is Jor-El. I mean, they basically made it seem like Jor-El is basically the half brother of Zod.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a reveal.
It's a big twist.
And then of course there's a scene already involving Nisa that's a leak. That's not really leaked. They kind of showed like a scene from an episode where she's holding a baby. She had that. First of all, Nisa we
Yeah.
find out was a clone.
Yep.
2, they have the the baby that her and Seg, I don't know how they called it, like bonded. And so that baby's alive. Like, her get that back. So how does that baby fit into it? Is that really Jarrell? Is that somebody else? That's the interesting part. So
that's what I love about it. It's just so much. Again, there's just so many twists.
Yeah,
and it works. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know how many seasons? I mean, how many episodes are this next season?
Let me find out. I don't know.
Hopefully full season.
Because the season or season 1 was what, 10 episodes?
Yeah, it was short.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
And that's the thing too. It was a short season, but I mean, it was amazing.
A lot happened.
Yeah, exactly. It was very. Each episode was very full, very packed shows. So.
Sorry, guys.
That's one thing. Another thing I love about it. Just the writing and everything was really good.
Yeah, acting is also good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought one thing, the set pieces are a little small. It feels like a really condensed show.
It does.
But a lot of shows have to do that in their pilot season, in their first season. I think about Vikings. There's like 15 people in the first season of Vikings, and now they're having like major battles and armies, go head to head because you have that income, you have that the money now to back it, so to finance it.
And given that it's a sci-fi or it's on sci-fi, I'm glad they don't have sci-fi special effects.
Yeah, it's above that for sure.
It's no Sharknado crap. I'd imagine it's going to be 10 episodes again. They've only released the titles of 5.
Okay.
But I haven't seen. Let me see. Oh yeah, renewed it for a second season of 10 episodes. Yeah, so we'll be 10 episodes.
There you go.
Starting June 12th on Sci-Fi.
Boom.
Yep,
How far do y'all think this will go? Like how many seasons?
Hopefully 5. 5 seems like. I mean, when they come up with a new show, most of the time they have like a 5-season plan.
Okay.
Wait a minute, we've talked about this. David, what's his face? The writer for this one.
Goyer. Yeah.
I think he said he had initially a plan for as many as 7 seasons. I think.
Wow. I like that.
Right? Is that what we said?
I think that. I have to go back and listen to the episode.
I think it was 7 because 5 sounds. We've done a lot of episodes.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, 5 is like the standard, like the original writers of Supernatural. They had a whole arc for 5 seasons, and now here it is going. How many seasons is now that it's finally 14,
18, something like that?
No,
You
14,
guys are
right?
right.
14 or 15.
Something like that.
I've never seen the show.
19 to 20.
It's not Simpsons.
It's just like you had that main arc for 5 seasons, and then it just kept going, and that's how great a show is. It stands the test of time. Big Bang Theory, who knows how long that ended up lasting? 13 seasons. So,
Dang, was it that long?
yeah, 13 seasons. Yeah, pretty awesome.
And I'm real.
Does not seem like it.
No, not at all.
It does not seem like it.
Wow.
Shout out to, I can talk about that later, but shout out Big Bang Theory. That ended the way it should have. And on a personal level, that show made geek culture cool.
Yeah.
It really did. It was not just
It
comic
helped.
movies. It helped.
It
But
helped solidify it, yeah.
it made it fun, and
It made sure everybody else who wasn't a part of the culture understand how cool it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
even
If
if it
you
was to the
were-
extreme. And I've met people that was like, Sheldon's annoying. And it's like kind of nerdy guys are like that. It's not really like that. And I'm thinking, you kind of are, So
If you think that's annoying,
yeah, you think
you're
that's
probably
annoying.
that
You're
guy.
like that. You probably have your own spot. No, the show ended great. So of all things, the one thing I did enjoy the most, they never reveal Penny's maiden name.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ever. And that's one thing they kept intact the whole show.
That's cool.
They never revealed her maiden name.
Well, it'll be on the last episode, probably, right?
They never revealed it.
Yeah.
Well,
The
all right.
show's
She
already
never
over.
had a last name in the whole show. She married Leonard and took his last name Hofstetter, but you never know what her maiden name was.
I think it was Hofstetter.
Yeah, right. I doubt that.
Twist their brother and sister.
Yeah. Back to
Uh,
Krypton. Sorry, guys.
There you go.
Yeah.
They were long lost twins. It's like Luke and Leia all over again.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't that work though? That would so
No.
work. Oh, not only did you kiss your sister, but you married her.
That would suck if the whole series was like a dream sequence for Leonard. I was like, really?
Aw.
Come on.
That would have been a
Do
cop
it.
out.
That would have sucked.
That would have been a
Do
big
it.
cop out.
Yeah.
And back to their first. No, never mind. We can keep going.
We can keep going with this. So that's our thoughts on Krypton. If you haven't
Can't
seen season
wait.
1, get out there and watch it. You can find it on the DC Universe app. If not, Sci-Fi probably has like a streaming
Sure they have an
app or
on-demand
something,
of your
on-demand
cable,
thing. Go check it out. At least give it a try, a few episodes, 2 or 3 tops, and see if you aren't intrigued yet, and see if it doesn't just bring you in like it did for us, because you get so much Superman lore, but you have none of the rules that apply.
None of the
You're
powers.
not- yeah. Exactly.
Powers, Red Sun.
And I'll say this: remember, it took me a few episodes to really get.
It
hooked,
really did.
Yeah.
and probably like half the season.
Yep.
But that was just on me. So I would say for sure check it out.
Mhm.
It is definitely worth it. I regret taking so long to be hooked on it.
Yeah, we like
We had to like bother you to watch it.
we cursed,
I had them,
yelled.
like, all
Challenged you
recorded,
for your
yeah.
Superman fandom.
we told you to give up your Superman
They,
card
they
because you wouldn't
threatened
watch
to
it.
take my card away. Yeah, they threatened to take
You're
it away.
just
I'm like, no, I gotta see
Superboy
it.
now.
Ooh, Ben's fighting words.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Elliot,
Smallville's, super. Never mind. See, here we go.
Elliot and Rob on the Spidey thing, and you two guys on a Superman show
Oh, JC will
eventually.
take it easy.
I don't know. I don't know what we would talk about. All right.
No.
That was Krypton, and it's funny you bring
Smallville trivia, me and Jericho.
There you
Anyway,
go. Hey, that works.
other things going on in the DC universe, not on the app. Well,
Oh.
actually on the app.
On the app when you think
On
about
the
it.
app.
Yeah.
Young Justice, the great and amazing animated show Young Justice returns on July 2nd. This is the third season of Young Justice. We got the first half earlier this year, and now they took like a hiatus because I
'Cause
think
why
they
not?
were still. Well, I think they were still working on the second half.
Rest. Okay.
Okay.
I think is what was happening. So Young Justice returns on July 2nd. We're getting 3 episodes every Tuesday, starting July 2nd, a little different.
Okay.
And the fourth week, we'll get 4 episodes.
Okay.
So another, what's that math?
26.
13.
So 13 total, so 26 episodes.
Another 13 episodes left, but a 26 episode season for season 3.
Okay.
It's Young Justice is great. We don't have to talk about it a lot. I just want to say that Young Justice has always been great. The first half of season 3 was really, really good,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
but they are holding back.
Oh, yeah.
They're holding back a lot.
That's the cliffhanger.
And I think they're holding back a lot because we're going to get like it's going to reach its full potential on this back half of season 3. If you're a YJ fan, you know what I'm talking about. We had some major cliffhangers at the end of season 2. None of that's really been brought up at all.
Mm-mm.
So
Just like
I
one
love
quick
that.
appearance of
I
Wally.
absolutely love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
one of the greatest moments in animated history, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And so
Can
there's
you do your Forger impression?
Forger.
Fuji's.
Fred Bug with 2 teeth.
So we cannot wait for Young Justice. Get ready for our full coverage starting the week before July 2nd. Probably get some more interviews with a few either cast members or we'll bring back comic book artist Christopher Jones, who
Is-
writes the comic.
Is he going to write another like leading comic or?
We're
do we know?
begging DC Comics
Yeah.
to do it again. I don't know why they don't always just do it for the fans,
Mm-hmm.
and they will
do it
come.
For the steady.
Give us an
Do it
animated
for
version.
City.
Give us an animated version of the Zack Snyder cut of all what his plan was. That'd have been
Hey,
great.
all right.
Ooh, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
We can talk Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol just completed its first season, and if
Man,
you
what
are
a season.
not familiar with Doom Patrol,
Guilty.
or if you have not watched any episodes, I would say in a few words to describe this season, I would say ridiculous,
I'm gonna say odd but awesome.
Not a bad-
awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. You said a few words. That's 3 words. I wasn't familiar with the Doom Patrol at all as
Yeah.
far as comics or nothing, and this was just very, very interesting how they took on it. And originally, I thought it was gonna be part of the whole part of Titans because
Yeah.
you had one episode where they were there in Titans, but
It was just a way to introduce them, yeah.
yeah, and this was really a standalone series, very different, very R-rated. There's
Mm,
this
No joke.
yeah
Mhm,
streaming
mhm.
service. This something that could have been on Cinemax for crying out loud. But just great. Alan Tudyk stood out so much for me. On
Alan
this,
Tudyk, who plays the villain of the series.
Mr. Nobody,
pretty much.
and then who's the actress that played Jane?
Oh my gosh, I should know her
Oh,
name.
something Guetta. Diana Guetta.
Diane Guerrero.
Diana. Well,
Diane Guerrero?
close.
She
It's
hands
fantastic.
down playing 64 personalities,
Holy
and
crap,
she
yeah.
nailed every single one. She's perfect cast.
She deserves an Emmy.
Oh, damn right.
Yeah.
She does. She played
Like, it was
everything.
so clear.
Nobody's had to work that hard.
You started to, and I know I'm only 6 episodes in, but you start to be able to call out who these people are, like
Yeah.
who these personalities are. Like that's how good she is.
You haven't gotten there yet, but there is one episode because later on in the season, there's like every episode is devoted to like one character, a full character development.
Don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it, but there's one episode that just takes place completely in Jane's mind.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Let your imagination flow through, and it's probably way worse than that. This was just fun, and I loved Alan Tudyk's fourth wall breaking. It was so good. Some of the most random shit you will ever see too. But man, it's just odd. I don't know where they're going with the series. I hope it keeps going. That's the thing. It's an odd series. There's some stuff that lets you going, WTF, what are they doing? But it's so good.
It makes me wonder if that's how the comic is.
I wouldn't
Like
doubt
now
it.
I want to go back and read it because like it's that insane.
It is really insane. And it's not so much what are they doing, it's like what is happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's more like that. And I said ridiculous earlier. If you like a character like Deadpool, Deadpool's a ridiculous character. His comics are ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's things that happen that cannot be explained. This is like Deadpool, but on LCD.
Yeah.
Sorry, LSD.
LSD.
I said LCD. LSD. This is like Deadpool on LSD. I can't explain to you or make any sense of the things that have happened on the show, but they happened on every single episode to the point that I don't want to explain it because you'll just think I'm mad or crazy.
Yeah,
So
the Flex Metallo scene
yes.
on Danny Street.
No, I'm thinking yes. That's
so random but hilarious.
one of
Oh,
the
shit. Now I gotta finish the rest of the season.
That's one of the R-rated things you don't.
If you just like weird stuff, I mean, listen, the fans have all appreciated this.
Oh my god,
This
it's
has
so
had
good.
rave reviews by the fans. Everybody absolutely loves it. And so if you haven't seen Doom Patrol, we're saying to watch it.
Definitely watch it without your kids.
I think the thing
Put the parental controls on
definitely
this one.
no kids around at all.
Yeah.
The only things I would say are unusual to me is that sometimes the story moves along without any sort of explanation. And we've talked about this today, and I don't want to
Yeah.
get into any spoilers because it's a lot of it's towards the end, but there's a lot of things that are driving the story and the plot, and so you're kind of left jumping from A to B or B to C, and there's nothing to explain some of those things that happen. And I think it is intentional, though.
Maybe it's something they'll address. Like that's a cliffhanger they'll address in season 2.
Well, I just want to
How
say
did
that
they get there?
I think it is intentional that the story is being done that way. You're not supposed to get maybe all the details.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to understand why you wake up in the, I don't know, parking lot of a supermarket with your clothes all off. It just happened.
Not that happened in the show.
It didn't happen in the show. Not a
Okay, I was gonna
spoiler.
say.
Oh, okay.
Did I
But
miss that?
You're not supposed to know what
let's talk
happened
about that.
to that point. I happened to happen this morning. But you're not supposed to get all the details that drive the story sometimes.
Yeah.
And I do believe it's intentional, but it is sort of unique to try and comprehend as a viewer who this doesn't happen in any show.
Mm-mm.
Other shows, when they're going places, they are literally regurgitating all the steps on how it took to
Right.
get there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this one's just like, we're going, don't even ask questions. We're going to the store, don't ask for anything. Just things like that.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I know it's a
And
bad...
Alan Tudyk calls it out on that too. He's like, "Don't worry about it." You know,
yeah.
Mr.
But,
Nobody. Well, I mentioned his fourth wall breaking.
yeah.
What did you think of him as a villain?
I mean, no, Alan Tudyk is phenomenal. And
Just as-
if you love Alan Tudyk in anything, just
Yeah.
watch the show for him,
Yeah.
and you're going to appreciate him in a whole nother light.
He's pretty damn sinister too.
He's
In
fantastic.
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
He should do
So-
this more often.
Yeah, and honestly, well, I hope this goes on. I'm sure they have a season 2 in the works.
There
I
you
would
go.
Hope. So, yeah.
But you are enjoying it.
I am for sure. I'm on this either starting the 6 or starting the 7, something like that. But it's been a crazy season.
Yeah.
And it
Like-
only gets 1,000 times crazier.
Mm-hmm.
Crap. All right.
So-
I'm down. I'm ready.
Like if you thought getting sucked into a donkey was bad enough,
You'll understand when you watch it.
Exactly. I was gonna say that's like
That's
references
not a
like-
spoiler. You've seen that. That's like the very beginning.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it's just like it's funny because comments like that, it's like, come on, you got to be making that up. You have to, or that eye in the sky, and it's like
Yeah.
the talking roach. Like I mean, there's a lot of stuff
Mhm.
that you just wouldn't believe it unless you actually saw the show.
Just wait.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
wait.
I'm
Just
excited.
wait.
You got me ready.
Talking Roach, just wait.
Just
Oh,
wait.
shit.
That's
Okay.
hilarious.
That is our initial thoughts on Doom Patrol. Full review coming probably in the next week,
Mm-hmm.
whenever Jericho wants to finish it. I'm not putting any pressure on you. I
Yeah.
know you're gonna finish it.
Yeah.
So when you do, we're gonna
Hashtag
definitely
hurry up, Jericho.
we're gonna definitely talk about that. I'm glad you brought up Big Bang Theory,
Okay.
because this is the year of endings.
Oh, I
Big
know where you're
Bang
going with
Theory
this.
is ending. Well, it already
Did
ended.
end, yeah.
It has.
Star Wars:
Oh,
The
see, the universe
Skywalker
was
Saga
ending,
this
uh-huh.
year is
Why would you
ending.
bring that up?
My
today?
bad.
God.
Because it's a year of endings. Game of
Yeah.
Thrones has ended. The Avengers franchise, to a certain extent,
The Infinity Saga.
The
For
Infinity
this-
Saga
for
has
this
ended,
chapter.
and there are certain elements and characters within that storyline that have ended. It's now another ending for something else that we were not expecting. And when I say we, I mean
The DC. fan
Everybody.
base?
everyone on this planet did not expect this to happen.
No.
Swamp Thing recently released, and when I say recent, I mean a week ago.
As of this recording,
Last
literally
Friday.
a
As of
week
this
ago.
recording,
I
Swamp
haven't
Thing.
even watched first episode yet. We're busy that day.
Swamp Thing was released a week ago,
Golly.
and it's been canceled. So the year of endings has continued and has taken another life. But before you kind of jump to conclusions, Swamp Thing is going to finish its 10-episode season 1. Each episode is being released on Fridays on the
They might as well
DC
just release it all right now.
DC
Like, there's no
Universe
point.
app.
Which was originally a 13-episode
Yeah.
season, reduced to 10.
Mm-hmm.
And
That was
I
the
think,
first bad sign right there.
well,
That worried me.
Ted, explain. Are you going to explain why?
I'm gonna get into this.
Yeah,
crap.
because this is probably explains why it was canceled before we got a second season.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So just the kind of building all this up again. Like, so Swamp Thing is going to be canceled after its first season. Season 1 was planned for 13 episodes. It was reduced down to 10 for budgetary reasons, which I'm going to explain in a second. And it was either leaked or purposely leaked earlier today that the entire series would be canceled and we would not get a season 2, even though it was already planned to happen. It's very strange and very odd, and the fan backlash has hit an all-time high.
Gotta
It was
love
the first thing trending this morning
Mhm.
was just thousands and thousands of people with hashtag Save Swamp Thing, because everyone has loved the pilot episode of Swamp Thing.
Okay.
Rave reviews, critics and fans alike have loved it. Some even calling it the best original series or original content on the DC Universe app. And so for this to kind of happen just really blindsided absolutely everyone. But this is what we know, or this is what's been told to us. And there's also a few things that are sort of being reported that haven't been confirmed yet. But first, the show was filmed in North Carolina. And originally when the production, before production started, there was some tax incentives given to DC and the production company in order to film in North Carolina. Apparently there was some sort of error with the paperwork. So those tax incentives, we're talking like tens of millions of dollars, didn't fall through, and those got revoked. And so the budget went from kind of really low, where they wanted it, to really high.
Oh, man.
And so that's probably the original reason why it got dropped from 13
to 10.
episodes in season 1 down to 10. And this probably included reshoots because you had to end a show
Yeah.
in 10 episodes where you originally planned it for 13.
Mhm.
So that is one thing that we were told did happen. There was news reports in the North Carolina area that actually brought that to light. If you ask the North Carolina Film Office, they claim that this did occur, but it had nothing to do with the cancellation of the show.
You all right over
Sorry,
there?
I'm fine.
I
Yeah.
don't know if they're lying about that because there have been other reports. Recently, AT&T had completed their acquisition of Time Warner. So a lot of
Right.
these AT&T executives have been getting involved with a lot of the content and a lot of things that are being pushed out by Warner Brothers and especially DC Comics. The DC Universe app, for all that we have and we love it and it's great, it is a big expense.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually being reported that executives within AT&T are the reason for Swamp Thing being canceled and not getting a second season. Some of these reports go even as far to say that a few executives have given their opinion that they wanted it more in the light of a CW show instead of the sort of dark horror genre that they're selling.
We already have the Arrowverse. What more do you freaking want?
Darker
But
than that, or lighter than that, I guess.
God, give me a
none
break.
of those reports are confirmed, and I'm pretty sure no executive is going to say, "Yeah, I said that. I'm sorry."
Yeah, let's see
Sorry,
Doom
guys.
Patrol on the CW. See how that goes over.
Leave Doom Patrol
That would be
alone.
like 2 episodes, barely. That much.
Nope,
content.
can't do it.
So that's all we've been given so far. As of right now, there is no season 2. But like I said, the outpouring of fan, the backlash has been tremendous. It's been great.
Mhm.
It can't be ignored. There's been people, and I'm talking hundreds of people on social media already willing to cancel their DC Universe subscription service in
Oh,
order
Lord.
to show what they
Solidarity.
exactly want.
That's not going to do it. All you're
Yeah.
basically saying is, well, we're losing all these subscribers. Why would we put a season 2 out there?
And
You know?
it goes maybe even a little bit further. Right now it's Swamp Thing, and that's the tip of the iceberg.
It better not be Titans.
But some other news outlets have been saying that now the entire DC Universe app and all of its content is being reevaluated by the executives at AT&T. Not sure what that means. Just leave it alone.
I will
It's
cancel
working.
my Uverse subscription if AT&T.
That's
screws
not going
this
to do
up.
enough.
If we get everybody to cancel Universe, then
I'll find another internet service provider at this point. So,
there you
go
go.
on DirecTV. Screw that.
So
That's crazy.
That
it's
sucks.
it's insane. It's crazy that DC Universe has been riding high for a while now.
Mhm.
Everybody's been loving Young Justice. It was huge. It was, you had thousands in attendance at the San Diego Comic-Con panel for the last 2 years, and Doom Patrol has been receiving great reviews by the fans. Titans, even though it sort of started on a weird footing
Yeah.
with the trailer that came out, it was a very big talking point at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con last year, but it ended up being quite magnificent, I think.
Yeah,
It was quite good. We talked about it in great extent, and we just absolutely loved it. So DC has been killing it with these original content series, and now you have Swamp Thing, which everybody's in agreement with. It's been fantastic, and
Have you seen? Well, I know JC you haven't seen, but have you seen the first episode?
I've seen most of the first episode.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need to finish it, but everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's been loving it. I am in agreement with them that it's fantastic. Produced by James Wan, the great James Wan,
Hell yeah.
who directed Aquaman and
Conjuring universe.
the Conjuring
basically.
universe. Yeah, one of the
Annabelle,
creators of
all
that.
stuff.
So it's odd. It's odd that we're at this point right now, and it's all the fingers being pointed at the executives of AT&T who are reevaluating, I guess, the significance of the DC Universe app. Not sure where it goes from here, but let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know if you're watching Swamp Thing, if you're watching any of the other DC Universe app original content series, what you're waiting for. We still have the second half of Young Justice, the Harley Quinn animated series,
Mm-hmm.
the Stargirl live action show.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot more to come. So I know a lot of people are looking forward to these shows, and I can't. Oof, it's gonna wreck me if this thing gets canceled or if they decide to pull the plug on it.
They're no fault of their own, really, because they have a great service there. And
With all the shows that they have coming out too, I don't think they'll do that. I think they're going to reevaluate it, try to maybe, well, I mean, because we've even said like we were talking about the comics a few minutes ago, like they need to fix how they put them out there and like maybe the shows and stuff. So maybe it's just minor things like that.
If
Sure.
there's
You know,
one
just
thing I'm
make,
saying it's missing, and this is just me as a WWE guy, maybe they have like a live streaming constant 24/7 channel running alongside with it like WWE Network does.
Okay.
Maybe they can do something like that, and they can debut new episodes like that, like a different day of the week. Maybe that's an idea. But then
I
again,
like that. Yeah.
That's a lot more money.
that's more money. But I mean, you increase the subscription to
exactly.
$9.99 a month. I'll pay it. You know, that sort of thing.
Because WWE Network, I mean, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, it is.
You
And
know, like it has so much stuff.
WWE Network at this point has even explored a tiered system. Maybe
Yeah.
if you want like a super tier, it's like $15 a month. They may even have like some special house shows live as well that you have access to. So this stuff has to evolve. But when it came out, I was very surprised at the price point, especially for what we're offering. But that got me
competitive.
yeah, it's competitive, which is good.
And keep in mind, it hasn't been out not even a full year. Like,
No, it
No.
hasn't.
Came out what November, December,
September?
something
September.
like that?
September.
So
September last year.
Yep.
just a
September.
few months shy of a year, and I mean, it's been great.
It has been. It's
Mhm.
been
I
worth
haven't
the
had
money.
any issues with it.
Jericho doesn't have to borrow anybody's subscription for it.
Finally
Either.
signed up.
Yeah.
December, I signed up. That Titans season finale trailer was enough to sell me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
That
it's,
tells you
it's been
something right
worth
there.
it. The comic library is amazing.
Yeah.
I talked last week about Smallville season 11, which is an awesome comic. I'm glad I got to read it. And just even then, as these shows come out, they do a good job marketing on there. Doom Patrol's coming out. Are you familiar with Doom Patrol? And then they show you all the comics that they have on there. The DC Daily News, they produce a lot of stuff on there that's really good.
I do
so.
like the whole behind the scenes stuff, and like
Yeah.
that's really cool. And
Mhm.
now they're bringing like fans into it and stuff. So
Yeah, they're
it's
doing
really
a good
good.
job
I
with
like that.
that, you know.
Still waiting for my interview to
You-
show up on the DC Universe Daily Show, but
You want to commentate an
It's
episode
fine.
of The Young Justice like
it's
some
fine.
fans
It's
got to?
whatever. It's fine. Whatever.
no, because he'll start from episode 1, season 1,
Yeah.
all the way till
No, if you guys remember, I sent that picture. They did an interview with some of us in line at San Diego Comic-Con
And
last
you're
year.
standing right next to somebody, right?
And I did an interview, but the one that they showed was actually the girl right next to me.
She's a lot prettier than you, bro.
Probably so. And my elbow was in the shot. And I'm like,
oh, nice.
there's my birthmark.
that's my elbow. So,
So when does your show start?
my interview's sitting on the shelf somewhere collecting dust.
It's in
Go ahead and
it's in the
publish it.
dump.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, DC. Go ahead, post it. I'm sure it's great. So let's do that. All right. Oh my gosh, that's a DC Universe news. They just AT&T, if the executives are really getting in the way, they need to stop meddling
Yeah.
and just let them, see this plan through. And they need to just get out of the way now, because when that Disney streaming service comes out, it's just gonna
It's gonna blow them away.
it's gonna blow everybody away.
Yeah.
So they need to get a solid foundation now before that Disney Plus gets out, because they're charging like nothing for it, and they're going to give everything on it.
And never mind that Disney's going to be bundling Disney Plus, ESPN Plus,
ESPN
and
Plus.
Hulu on top of that, since they own all three of those. No, they 100% own Hulu.
I didn't know about Hulu. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh no, you just
Might-
made him.
Well, they got a majority stake on the Fox
He's
merger,
gonna make the switch.
and then they
We
bought
gotta sign
out
up
the
right
rest
now.
of their. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm getting Hulu on Animaniacs. Lovely.
yes. Yes. I'm gonna sign up honestly just for that, just so I can.
Hey,
anime.
awesome.
Shit.
Can't wait.
Don't start.
Oh man. And that'll do it for this episode of the Countdown City Geekcast. Be sure to check out some of our older episodes on Apple Podcasts, on your Android podcast app, or at our blog site at countdowncitygeekcast.com. Check out our social media. We got photos on Instagram. We got other of our live videos of our live podcast videos on Facebook. You're going to want to check those out. And be sure to follow us on Twitter, especially the Countdown City WrestleCast, which you can also follow on Twitter, and our YouTube channel, which has not only the morning show, which is on hiatus, also
You
has
got a
some of
baby
our
on the way. You got a baby on the way. It's
also has
understandable.
some older videos of our podcast episodes, some trailers, and we also have the great Countdown City
Oh,
WrestleCast
great. Thank you.
every week
Yep.
on our YouTube channel at Countdown City Geeks.
Speaking of the WrestleCast, let's talk Celebrity Fan Fest real quick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Got a confirmation. Hernandez of pro wrestling fame. You may remember from TNA Impact Wrestling. He's going to be joining us on Friday at Celebrity Fan Fest, signing autographs, taking pictures, and we finally be doing an interview with him. Probably might do it on Facebook Live too before the show starts. So I'm very excited. I've known him for a long time, and he's all for it. And nothing going on today. Sure. So looking forward to having him there with us, and stay tuned. No more WrestleCast every week.
Oh, yeah. And if you're in the San Antonio or South Texas area, you're going to want to hit up Celebrity Fan Fest as well. Be sure to find out more information at pmxevents.com. And we will be there.
We got a booth.
Us. We got a booth.
In the Artist Alley area.
So come say hi. Come win some prizes. Come get some freebies from us. And, that's
We'll
it.
have more information on prizes later, or do you want to do it?
Oh, yeah, we do. Well, we have some prizes. And we'll talk about them later.
Yeah, we'll talk about them later, yeah.
For the Countdown City Geekcast, my name is Steady. With me on this tremendous episode are my two fellow Geekcasters. First, we got Jericho.
Later, y'all.
And the man, the myth, the legend, you know him as JC.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Have a good night.
Later.
Hey guys, AJ Nyland here. For more Geekcast episodes, subscribe to us on iTunes or your smart device podcast app. And please, write us a review. Be sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Countdown City Geekcast. Follow us on Twitter at ccg_podcast or visit our website at www.countdowncitygeekcast.com. See you later, guys.